Alrighty, so some of you asked if I can just make a quick tutorial for you and show you how I've edited this backdrop. So let's just quickly go to the image itself. So I got the backdrop, it's opened here, but I'm just going to show you that this baby was actually shot for a whole different backdrop. I definitely did not meant for it to be part of the typewriter backdrop, but I did wanted to use this baby. I can't even remember why. I think I just didn't had the right position for it or something like that, so I've selected this one to be the one that I'm going to use. And as you can see, he's on a really different blanket, and the background is completely not going to match and everything. So what do we do in a case that we have an image, we want a backdrop, it's not really matching, we think it's never going to work? How do we make it work? Okay, so the first thing that I'm going to do, I'm going to change the blue blanket wrap to brown. I'm not sure I'm going to blend it with this one, but I'm going to change it anyway, just in case there will be something there that would need it to be blended. So I'm just going to go to this little icon here. I'm going to select Hue Saturation. I'm going to go to Blues. Before I even look at see what is selected, I always go to these little drop and click around the blue just to make sure that all the shades of blue, the dark ones and the light ones, are selected. I can check by taking saturation down to see what was selected. So now I can see that it's nicely selected and it looks pretty good. Bringing it back up, and I'm going to use the slider to change it to brown. So this is a nice brown, I just want it a little bit darker. Alright, so this looks okay roughly, but that's okay. I'm going to click back to my layers. I'm just going to flatten this image. I'm using my actions, so quickly flatten image. But if you don't have the actions, just go to layer and it will be right there. And the next thing I'm going to do is to select the image. So I'm going to select my subject here. I'm going to do a rough selection around this area. And then a little bit closer around there. Alright, something like that. And I'm going to go to selected mask, which is right there at the top. Click that there, and on the next screen we just going around the baby hair, basically making the selection much more accurate. Okay, let's do it on this side as well. It's a little bit slow, but we'll get there. Okay, let's see. Alright, that's pretty much it. I'm going to click enter, and let's just use our selection now. So before I even move to the backdrop, I always resize a little bit just so it won't jump all over the screen. So clicking my shift key on the keyboard and resizing from one of the sizes, one of the sides corners. Yeah, click OK here because it wants us to approve that size, and drag and drop, and there we have it. We have our baby right there. I'm going to just have a little bit more, making sure you're clicking on shift key. Okay, now if you want to know, like if you're just asking, okay, so how am I going to take the photo better, so jump in all these steps? So what I would suggest probably would be best if you take the photo of the baby on a black background with black on all over, like around the baby back as well. So you can maybe put a black blanket on your bin bag and just use so basically so the back would be also covered with the black. Let's just open the layer mask right now and select our brush. Our brush is on 100% and it needs to be black. And what I'm going to do now is just go around baby and just delete a little bit here and a little bit there and reduce the opacity a little bit and the size of the brush. There we go. Basically just going around the edges. And I can still see the difference here because the color wasn't really correct. I think it was a little darker, more grayish. So I'm gonna have to go and do this whole selection a little bit more exact, which is fine. I take my time when I do my edits. I just want to make sure that everything looks nice and perfect. So I'm happy with doing it as I do it. There you go. And if you don't want to go and just use the lines of the blanket that you already have, you can always just use the blanket line right there. Let me just think how. Let's just undo everything now. Just gonna go and undo all of that just so I can show you the other way I'm thinking of. So I just put the baby a little bit lower. Let me see where we are. Okay, I think we are okay. And I'm just gonna go and use the actual blanket itself. I have this line right there of the blanket, and that might be like an easier way of doing it. Need to just reduce that a little bit lower. Okay, and I'm just using the actual blanket and go. I'm just using a softer brush now. I just want to bring some of the shadow on the baby. We're going to add some more shadows later as well. So that could be another way of editing the baby onto that blanket. Or you can just do it the way I did it before. I don't know, it's up to you what is easier for you and the way that you like the image to look like. So that one can also definitely work. Alright, let's stick with that one because now we just started with that one. Alright, I'm just doing things a little bit more exact now. Go. Cover that little bit there. Okay, that looks alright to me. Alright, just gonna delete here and there just some bits that I don't really like. When I did that selection, I kind of selected it and made it look a little grey, and it doesn't look so nice. Alright, let's just go a little bit around the back line. Make a nicer selection because I can tell that the baby was just in front of a white background. So you just want to get rid of that sort of line. There you go. That's gone. Just resizing my brush and getting a little bit deeper here on this area. And I might just make this area a little bit darker later as well. I'm using a softer brush now on a low opacity to do this one. And I'm gonna try now making it darker, so I'm just gonna go quickly jumping back to the layer with the baby. Just taking my burn brush, set to shadow, so let's see if that would work nicely. I'm just going to make this area here with maybe mid-tone as well, let's see. Yeah. Just making the lines a little bit darker. Right on the ear. Just going back a little bit because I'm changing my mind. And I want it to look nice, so there you go, just going around making all these lines a little bit darker. Plus I want to create a little bit of shadows here and there, just to make it look like the blanket was actually in front of the baby there. So we need a little bit of shadows here and there. And bigger brush. Now if you do it this way, I think it's important to mention that, just know that you can't really go back and change your mind about that one. The reason is because we don't do it on a separate layer right now. I'm literally just working on the baby layer. So if I wanted to create the shadows and, I don't know, play with it a little bit better, I will probably create a different layer and work, I do it with my action, but without the action, just create a different layer and make it darker, and then just work on a layer mask, and then I can just put it on or put it off, play with it, and I don't know, just decide whether I like it or not like that. I'll do a little bit more around here. And I'm going to go on the actual backdrop as well. The best way is, again, just duplicate the backdrop so you can, if you want to change your mind, you can. I'm just making some more shadows around there. Again, I usually use my action for that, but just in case you don't have the action of the shadow, there you go. I'm just showing it so everyone can enjoy that. Yeah, so a little bit more. Okay, that's a bit too much. I'm going to reduce the exposure a little bit here. Okay. So that one is looking okay to me right now. I do want to change the baby skin tone. He's a little bit too bright, so I can just go and I'm using my action, so soft skin action, and just taking my brush and changing the color by clicking on it, and I'm just going to change the color to much darker because I want to make the baby skin darker. There you go. So it's a bit darker, a bit warmer as well. And I think it just works much nicer with this backdrop. I'll bring some light onto baby later on as well. And if something that I change my mind about something, I'm just going to open a layer mask. And I'm on 39% opacity right now, which is fine. I'm just going to quickly click here because the light is coming from this direction. So I want this area to be a little bit lighter. Might just add some light on the actual blanket as well, because I don't need the blanket to be dark all the way here. It's only if you want to put the baby maybe bigger. But now you can see the difference between before and after. And I completely changed the baby. Skin tone is nicer and warmer, and it works much better with this backdrop. I think this stage is pretty much finished now, and I'm probably going to flatten this image now and maybe work on little details like making baby details a little bit sharper. Hold on. I'm flattening the image and I'm going to add a little bit of warm glow. Again, that's just one of my actions. Makes baby pop, and I'm going to put it here on the blanket as well. There you go. Maybe here a little bit as well. Now let's see before and after. Happy with that. I'm clicking flatten the image again using my sharpen eyes and lips. Just working on the details a little bit, but this one I'm going to go for 100% opacity. There you go. Maybe a little bit on the toes as well because it's cute. No, I don't think I like it on the hair. Changing my mind, it's also fine. And I'm going to work on the back now because I want it to be a little bit straighter. Just when I made this whole selection thing, I just made it a little bit wobbly, so I like things to look a little bit perfect, I suppose. And so I kind of see these things, you know. I was not doing anything. I think I'm asking too much from my Photoshop. Let's just click OK. Let's try it again. Filter, liquify. There you go, it's moving now. And I'm just sort of playing here just to make it nice and more like round, I suppose. Just tiny little kind of touches, and I think it makes a difference when you look at it. Okay, click OK, and I'll use my I'll use the blur tool right there, and I'm just going around the back, making it a little bit blurry, just going around it, just making it a little blurry. The hairline a little bit around the ear as well. There you go. There's a tiny bit of like a white thing that was left from the other fur. There you go. Just taking it off. That's it. Now it looks much nicer. And that's it. I'm gonna flatten the image. I'm gonna add a little bit of light, just a tiny bit here and there, onto baby. And okay, I need to check that I'm on the right tool. So brush in a low opacity, just go around baby feature even lower opacity. Just a little bit here, a little bit on the head because of the light direction. And the eyes, there you go, just a little bit. And I'm pretty happy with this one. I am going to flatten the image, and I can put like a filter on top of everything. Now it's your choice. Choose whichever filter you like. It's gonna work nicely if you choose. I think Sweet Summer would be good here. Yeah, I like Sweet Summer on this one. Let's see what else can work. I've tried a golden egg as well. Golden egg. That's also very pretty. Might be a bit too much. I will probably reduce the opacity a little bit. But there you have it. That's pretty much how to edit this backdrop. I don't know how long that took me. Probably much less if I wouldn't have to talk and do it, because usually I just work really quickly and I just use my action, so it's click click click. But it's totally doable. I'll definitely recommend if you can take the baby photo on a black backdrop, and that will make the edit so much easier. So that's it for now. Thank you so much, and if you got any questions, please let me know. See you, bye.